This video is part of a series based on the book Impact or Invisible: Surviving the Data Age with AI by Angel Reyes, available on Amazon. Welcome to video 28 in our AI.powered research series. Today we're tackling a critical challenge: how to document your AI use in ways that support reproducibility. This is where responsible AI use meets the fundamental principles of scientific methodology. Here's the problem: AI outputs are not deterministic. If you ask ChatGPT the same question twice, you might get different answers. If you ask it today versus 6 months ago, the model itself might have changed. And if someone else tries to replicate your AI.assisted process, they might get completely different results. This non-reproducibility is a fundamental challenge for research integrity. Science depends on the ability to verify and replicate findings. If your AI.assisted analysis can't be reproduced, how can anyone verify your work? The solution isn't to avoid AI, it's to document your AI use so thoroughly that your methods can be understood, evaluated, and as much as possible, replicated. By the end of this video, you'll have a comprehensive documentation protocol that satisfies reproducibility requirements. Let's understand why AI presents unique reproducibility challenges. Traditional research methods are generally stable. If I tell you I used SPSS version 28 to run a regression, you can obtain SPSS version 28 and run the same regression. The software behaves the same way each time. AI systems are different in several ways. First, stochasticity. Most large language models have randomness built into their outputs. Temperature settings and sampling methods mean the same prompt can produce different results each run. Second, model updates. AI providers continuously update their models. The GPT-4 that exists today is different from the GPT-4 that existed 6 months ago. OpenAI doesn't maintain old versions for reproducibility purposes. Third, prompt sensitivity. Small changes in how you phrase a request can produce dramatically different outputs. If you don't document your exact prompts, replication is impossible. Fourth, context dependence. AI responses depend on the full conversation context. A response in a fresh session differs from a response after extensive back and forth. These factors mean that traditional documentation approaches are insufficient. You need AI.specific documentation practices. Here's the documentation protocol you should follow for any AI.assisted research. Element 1. Model identification. Record the specific model used, not just ChatGPT, but GPT-4 Turbo, accessed via the web interface on January 15, 2026. Include version numbers when available. Element 2. Exact prompts. Save the complete text of every prompt you use to generate research outputs, not paraphrases, exact copies. Small wording changes can affect results. Element 3. Full outputs. Save the complete AI responses, not just the parts you used. This lets reviewers or replicators see what the AI actually produced and what you selected or modified. Element 4. Settings and parameters. If you adjusted temperature, top P, or other parameters, document them. If you used custom instructions or system prompts, save those too. Element 5. Timestamps. Record when each interaction occurred. This helps identify which model version you likely used, since providers don't always announce updates. Element 6. Your modifications. Document how you edited, fact-checked, or revised AI outputs. This shows your human contribution and lets others understand the relationship between AI output and final work. Comprehensive documentation makes your AI.assisted methods as transparent as any other aspect of your research. Let me give you practical templates for documenting AI use. For AI.assisted writing, document section 3.2 was drafted using Claude 3.5 Sonnet on February 10, 2026. The prompt was exact prompt. The raw output is available in supplementary materials S1. Human revisions included list changes. Final content responsibility, your name. For AI.assisted literature review, document. Initial literature suggestions were generated using Semantic Scholar's AI features and ChatGPT-4 on January 5, 2026. Prompts, exact prompts. All suggestions were verified for existence and relevance. False positives, hallucinated citations were list. Final included papers were selected by human judgment based on criteria. For AI.assisted analysis, document. qualitative coding was supported by Claude 3 Opus on March 3, 2026. Initial codes were generated using the prompt exact prompt. Human coders reviewed all AI.dash suggested codes and modified percentage of them. Inter-rater reliability between AI and human coders was statistic. Final coding decisions were made by names. These templates can be adapted to your specific situation and included in methods sections or supplementary materials. Here is how to organize and store your AI documentation effectively. First, create an AI research log for every project you work on. This can be a dedicated document or folder where you save all AI interactions relevant to your research. Include dates, the prompts you used, the outputs you received, and notes on how you used each output in your work. This becomes your audit trail if anyone ever questions your methods. Second, use consistent file naming conventions. Something like AI_interaction_date_purpose_number works well. For example, AI_interaction_20260115_lit_review_01. This lets you track interactions chronologically and by purpose, making it easy to find specific conversations later. Third, export full conversation histories before they become too long or before you close the session. Most AI platforms allow you to copy or export your chat history. Do this regularly, especially for important research conversations. Some platforms have session limits, and you do not want to lose valuable interactions. Fourth, store raw AI outputs separately from your edited versions. Having both lets reviewers see exactly what the AI produced versus what you created through your editing process. This transparency strengthens your credibility and makes your methods fully auditable. Remember to keep your documentation proportional to the significance of the AI use. A quick grammar check does not need the same level of documentation as AI.assisted hypothesis generation or data analysis. Scale your documentation efforts to match how central the AI use was to your research conclusions. Here's the impact of thorough AI documentation. When you document AI use comprehensively, you strengthen your research at multiple levels. Your methods become transparent. Reviewers and readers can understand exactly how AI contributed to your work. No one has to guess or assume. Your work becomes more reproducible to the extent possible. Even if exact reproduction is impossible due to model changes, others can understand your process and attempt analogous approaches. You demonstrate scientific rigor. Thorough documentation shows you understand the challenges of AI reproducibility and have addressed them responsibly. You create a resource for yourself. When you need to respond to reviewer questions or build on previous work, your documentation provides the details you need. You contribute to developing standards. As researchers share their documentation practices, norms emerge. Your well-documented AI use helps establish best practices for the field, and you protect yourself if questions arise. If anyone challenges your methods, your documentation provides a complete record of what you did and why. Let's summarize the key takeaways from this video. First, AI creates unique reproducibility challenges. Stochasticity, model updates, prompt sensitivity, and context dependence mean traditional documentation isn't sufficient. Second, follow the 6-element documentation protocol. Model identification, exact prompts, full outputs, settings and parameters, timestamps, and your modifications. Each element contributes to reproducibility. Third, use practical templates for common scenarios. AI.assisted writing, literature review, and analysis each have specific documentation needs. Adapt the templates to your situation. Fourth, organize documentation systematically. Create project-specific AI logs, use consistent naming, export conversations, store raw and edited versions separately, and scale documentation to significance. Make AI documentation a standard part of your research practice. Here's your takeaway to remember. If you can't document it, you shouldn't use it. That's the reproducibility standard you should apply to AI.assisted research. Yes, AI outputs may not be perfectly reproducible, but your process can be transparent. Your prompts can be shared. Your modifications can be traced. That level of documentation is what reviewers and readers deserve. The few minutes you spend documenting each AI interaction are an investment in the credibility of your research and the integrity of your scientific record. In the next video, will cover the 3-point IP audit you should conduct before using any AI tool. If you found this valuable, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it. Thank you for watching. This video covered just one concept from Impact or Invisible, Surviving the Data Age with AI. The full book includes comprehensive frameworks for AI.powered research, step-by-step protocols, copy-paste templates, and strategies for researchers at every career stage. Get your copy on Amazon today and transform your research workflow. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos in this series.